Will going no contact with your ex make them forget about you? For the answer, watch this video. Hey, I'm Coach Benny, and I help people get their exes back. And one of the things that people want to know before they just disengage and they stop trying altogether with their ex, even though they're not getting results by doing it, by trying, people want to know, will my ex forget about me if I just stop and I just leave them alone? And I want you to think back to any ex that you've ever had. You've probably never forgotten about almost any of them except for maybe like grade school or something, right? So at a certain point, you know that they're not going to forget you altogether. But the question is, will they move on in your absence? And fundamentally, yes, it's a chance, right? That's why this is even a question, because you realize that, once the relationship is over, anything could happen, right? If you're not together, you're not committed, they could theoretically meet somebody else or something could happen and they could just move on. But here's the thing, the same pain that you're feeling, it's very likely that your ex is feeling this too, especially if there's some kind of avoidant where they've prematurely ended the relationship out of defensiveness or, some kind of fear that they're dealing with internally. But the problem is, if your ex goes into avoidance, the more you chase them, the more they're going to run away. So, you really don't have an option. If they're not texting you first after the breakup, you literally don't have an option but to leave them alone. And you don't know if it's going to work or not. You're being scared. You're like, man, I don't want to do this because I think they're going to just move on. But the problem is you don't know what works because you haven't tried it yet, or at least not for long enough, The reality is that absence makes the heart grow fonder. And to test out this little, theory, at least for you, it's not theory for me, but what you can do is ask yourself, hey, would I be more excited to see my best friend from high school or grade school or whatever, or would I be more excited to see my next door neighbor that I see every day? And the reality is, if you were to see, some old friend from the past, you'd be like, oh shit, man, how's it been going? I haven't talked to you in a long time. Like, what you been up to? Whereas if you see your neighbor, you're just gonna be like, hey, what's up? And so romantic relationships aside, even just by that principle alone, just the time factor and the absence factor, you can see how that affects excitement about somebody. And this is also true for your ex. So what really happens is that your ex's attraction level for you, it's like a health meter in a video game. It takes a couple of hits because the problem's in the relationship. Then you exit combat, right? You take a step away in no contact, and your health meter starts regenerating, okay? Just like attraction does for you and your ex. So don't be afraid to go no contact. It's probably the only thing that you can do if your ex isn't already texting you first. And if you want my help getting your ex back, click into my profile, click this link right here, set up a call with me, and I want to hear your story, and I'll give you a step-by-step game plan to get your ex back.